The date is 1967. Internationally, the United States is entangled in the tragedy of the Vietnam War. Domestically, there is racial unrest with protests in Detroit, Newark, and Cincinnati. These protests would come to be known as the long, hot summer. Despite all this chaos and turmoil in the town of Uniontown, Pennsylvania, a legend was just coming onto the scene in a small restaurant location known as Mcdonald's. The owner was starting to sell a sandwich to compete with the local diners. Jim Delegati had seen what the competition had to offer and figured he could create a better version of their burger. He started by cutting the bun to 3 parts. Then Jim added pickles, onions, shredded lettuce, cheese, 2 hamburger patties, and last but definitely not least, the trademark special sauce. This seeming Frankenstein of a burger was met with skepticism at first from the officers of the young budding company of McDonald's. They were scared this would fail spectacularly, but within a few short years, these burgers were being sold coast to coast. Now these burgers are known far and wide as the iconic burger, with over 1 billion Big Macs sold, but still, a competitor arises. Who will win? Welcome to the Great Food Fight. Today we're going to be facing off against our best competitor yet, our greatest competitor, the granddaddy of all burgers. All the burgers, all the specialty burgers out there owe it to this burger, and that is none other than the McDonald's Big Mac. Now, McDonald's Big Mac came out in 1967, so that's over 50 years ago. So that's over 50 years of time that they've had to perfect their craft. They've had time to perfect how to make the burgers, how to season the burgers, how to put the pickles on the burgers, how to create their secret sauce, even though it's just Thousand Island dressing. We all know that. They've had their time to put their best foot forward. And today, their best burger is like, and we're also going to go and create our own in our own kitchen. Now today we're going to judge our burgers on 4 different categories. First and foremost, we're going to be judging it on taste. Does it taste good? Number 2, we're going to judge it on presentation. Does it look good? I love a good burger that looks like a good burger. But we've all been there, we've all got food, and it doesn't look like what we saw on TV. Number 3, we're going to judge it on calories. And number 4, we are going to judge it on the price. Stick around to the end of the video to find out who wins. So now we're going to start off, and we're going to make our pickle relish to start off with. Yes, you can go buy pickle relish from the store, but all the stores around that we've been to, they didn't have any dill pickle relish. They only had sweet pickles. And in this household, we do not eat sweet pickles. So we decided to make our own. So we're going to chop them pickles right now. In the description is all the time codes for the different parts, so that if you want to skip around or replay any of the parts, go down to the description, you can find those. All right, so now for the first part of the burger, we're going to make the relish that goes on there. We're going to make some pickles. The recipe that we are going with said that you need to make a relish or have a pickle relish. So we are going to go ahead and chop up some pickles right now. Yeah, we looked at the store for relish, but we looked at the store for relish, but the only relish that we could find was sweet pickle relish. And obviously, no one wants to eat that. I don't even know why they sell that anymore. Sweet pickles are so nasty. So we're just chopping it up, making them pretty much in the quarters. I don't want to make them too small. I want to be able to taste them, have a little bit of a consistency to them still. Moving it over to about quarter way through. As you can tell, I'm not a professional chef. I just enjoy cooking. Hence why I've created a YouTube channel about cooking, something that I enjoy to do. And I hope you all enjoy watching it, learning along with me. One time I went to, my friends used to work at Chick-fil-A, and I love pickles. So I went to Chick-fil-A and ordered their spicy chicken sandwich, and my two friends were working in the back, and they were sandwich makers for that day, and they loaded, it was almost just as thick pickles as it was the chicken patty itself. And so it was safe to say that all I could taste that sandwich was pickles. But it was actually pretty good. It was probably one of the better Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches that I've had, and I absolutely love Chick-fil-A. So now that we're done the pickles, I'm going to put them in a bowl separately so that we can put it on later. But now we're going to go make the super secret sauce for McDonald's. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab a bowl out of our cabinets. We're going to put it on the countertop here. The first thing in this list, I'm going to grab my measuring things, my measuring spoons. It says they need a 1/3 cup of mayonnaise. That's a lot of mayonnaise, I'd say. So 1/3 cup of mayonnaise. So I'm going to grab my measuring 1/3 cup measuring cup. I'm going to take the spoon.
Take it.
It doesn't say whether it needs to be a helping scoop of mayonnaise. It just says a 1/3 cup of mayonnaise. So I'm going to go with that right there. I'm going to put it in the bowl. I'm going to make sure I get all the mayonnaise in there. So we're making that super secret Big Mac sauce that it comes with. Most people believe that it is Thousand Island dressing. What do you think? Do you think it is? Do you think it's not? Put a comment down in the description. All right. Next thing is 4 tablespoons of the pickle relish. We're going to go grab our pickle relish. We're going to go grab the pickle relish that we made. So we're going to grab 4 tablespoons of it. 4 tablespoons of it. It's a lot. Pickle relish. 1, 2, 3. A little bit extra there. The more, the merrier when it comes to pickles, in my opinion. I have a friend that cannot stand pickles. So next off, we have 3 tablespoons of ketchup. We're going to do 3 tablespoons of ketchup. So 1, 2, 3. 3 tablespoons of ketchup. Then it calls for 1 teaspoon of sugar. So I got my sugar here. 1 tablespoon of sugar, or teaspoon, sorry, 1 teaspoon of sugar. And then it also calls for 1 teaspoon of white vinegar. You gotta make sure. Well, a little bit more spilled in there than we had originally planned, but that's okay. It's all good. We'll see how it turns out. That is the part of homemade food. So now we're going to take our spoon that we had earlier and we're going to mix this together. So then you take your spoon and you mix it all together and get it nice, and that looks a lot more like the Big Mac sauce. Looks really good. Get that ketchup up there. Gets that nice pink consistency that Thousand Island dressing gets. It even has the smell of like Thousand Island dressing. So that's why many people think that the Big Mac sauce is Thousand Islands. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to weigh out our patties. So the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to weigh out our meat. According to Alexa, the normal weight for a beef patty from McDonald's for a Big Mac is 45 grams. So we're going to turn on our scale. We're going to weigh out a patty of 45 grams. So units, grams. Now, one of the important things about this burger is that you need to get the burger as thin as possible. So that's actually 77 grams. So we're going to take part of that away. So we took some of it away, and it's about 50 grams. So I'm going to give it those 5 grams. It'll probably cook out the rest of that meat. So we're going to make 4 more of these because we're going to make 2 Big Macs, one for me and one for my wife. My wife is gluten-free and dairy-free. So we usually, whenever it comes to dairy or gluten allergies, foods that have those 2 ingredients, I make something separate from her so that she can eat her food and I can eat my food, and we still enjoy the food in many ways, but just in a different way than each other. Many times we make foods that have, maybe I make food for myself that has dairy in it, or maybe she makes food that's dairy-free, because really, ultimately, when you've eaten a lot of dairy throughout your life and gluten throughout your life, you get so used to all that and you enjoy the taste of those things in your foods. So we're making 2 separate things, one for her, one for me. Then once we get these patties done, we're going to throw a little bit of salt and pepper on them. And then we're going to cook them very quickly. All right, so now we're going to take the salt and pepper. We're just going to put a little bit of pepper on there. Normally on my burgers, I put Montreal steak seasoning on it. It's pretty good. Or the Amazing Burger seasoning. But just for sake of consistency here, we're going to put salt and pepper so that it's even. So we're going to get out one of our pans and we're going to put it up here and we're going to turn it on to 6 heat. And we're gonna spray a little bit of this ham superior nose stick onto it so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. Now, if you use oil, just remember when you are using olive oil or any sorts of those oils, they do add calorie to your meal. So I use ham no stick because it only adds 10 calories per spray. So I sprayed it about 6 times, so that's about 60 calories altogether. But I think most of that's gonna cook out anyway. So while we wait for those burgers to cook, we're waiting for the pan to heat up a little bit. It's almost there, but it needs a little bit more, I think. We're going to take our buns. I got these sesame buns, sesame brioche buns from Aldi. And so we're going to take these and we're gonna put some butter on there and we're gonna put them in our air fryer. And we're gonna get it nice and golden. And then they'll be ready to make a Big Mac. Take this little plate right here. My wife is allergic to dairy, like I said earlier, so we use this fake butter, and it usually is really, really, really easy to spread all over the buns. It's really easy to do, so we're doing that right now, and then we'll throw it into the air fryer in a second. Feels like our pan is warming up. So I'm gonna put that down, put the butter away in a second. I'm gonna start putting these in the pan. So there's one patty. Ooh, hear that nice 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna put these buns in the air fryer while we wait for the burgers to cook. I'm gonna put the bread on for about 5 minutes at about 400 degrees. Now the nice part about cooking burgers at home is that you can trust how you want it cooked. When you go to a fast food place, it's all well done, but when you're cooking at home, you can get it any level of rarity. So I moved y'all so you can see in the pan while I cook these burgers. I'm gonna flip them now. Nice little flip. You see how it's nice and brown, caramelized. We left it on for about 3 minutes. Probably should have taken them off a little bit sooner. But don't those look good? I'm gonna get out some cheese and throw 2 nice pieces of cheese on there while we wait for the burgers to cook. And we're gonna throw some cheese on there while we wait for the bread to heat up to a nice golden brown color. I'm gonna throw a piece of my wife's cheese right on top there. A piece right there for my wife as well. That dairy-free cheese just takes forever to melt. It's like melting plastic at sometimes. And I put 2 pieces of regular cheese on mine. Move them over so they're not touching as much. Gotta watch out for that cross-contamination. All right, now let's go put the sauce and the lettuce and everything on the burgers so that the buns are ready once the cheese is melted. All right, so now that we have our bread, we're gonna put that down there, and we are going to bring over our Big Mac sauce. We're going to get out our lettuce out of the fridge, and then we're gonna bring our lettuce, we're gonna take it, and we're going to open it, obviously. We're gonna open it up. We're gonna first put on some mac sauce. It already has some pickles in the relish, so I'm not gonna put any more pickles on there. We're gonna put some cheese right there on the bottom, or not cheese, some lettuce right there on the bottom. And then we're gonna get one of these patties. We're gonna take it, we're gonna put it in the middle, there. And then we're going to put this next layer on, just like that. We're gonna take it, put it in the middle as well, put some sauce on there. Make sure it has nice sauce on there. Some lettuce. And then another one of the burger patties. Put that right up there on top. Make it so that it's nice, big, juicy burger. Nice big Big Mac. So what do you think? Look good? Good homemade burger. Now, I think I should have made the burgers a little bit bigger. All right, so next time I'm gonna have to try it again. Make the burgers a little bit bigger, because usually when you go to McDonald's or something like that, the burgers are a little bit more spread out, so they cover more of the bun itself. But I think the presentation, these look a lot more tasty than they do from the store. But we're gonna go buy one from the store, so we'll be back. The next thing you'll probably see us in is in the car. Due to technical difficulties, our audio did not work. All right, well, we finally got our food. It was actually, I would say, pretty convenient.
They gave it to us pretty quick.
They did. They gave it to us pretty quick. It was probably 5 minutes of being actually in line. From ordering to the window was less than that. Obviously, you saw us in the parking lot taking a video of the food. Even to get home, it was really quick. Usually it takes 15 minutes to get from McDonald's to where we live, but it only took us about 7 to 8 minutes. So about half the time it normally does. So all in total, it took about 14 minutes, I would say, to get this hamburger. So that wasn't terrible. So convenience factor was, I would say, pretty good for it.
This time. It's been really bad before.
Yes. So this was actually, it's 6 o'clock at night here. So I would think that the dinner rush would be right around this time. When I used to work at Wendy's, right around this time, there's only 4 cars in the drive-through line completely. So their dinner rush is very dead, if that is the dinner rush. So we got these 2 burgers. My wife has her gluten-free, dairy-free version, and then she has a regular Big Mac. So we're gonna,
no cheese.
Yep, we're gonna first go for presentation.
Okay.
Presentation-wise, what do you think of yours?
Oh, I like this one because it's bigger, or taller.
You like that one because it's taller.
It's taller.
But presentation-wise, which one would you rather eat?
This one just looks like a lot of bread. Okay. So again, I'd go with that because it looks like there's more filling.
Okay. Presentation-wise, this looks really sloppy. I'm gonna show it so that the camera can see it. Now, we did have to drive in a car, so I'll give them that we were jostling back and forth. We had to make a few turns. So there is that possibility that while we were churning and everything, that it kind of fell over.
You're giving them...
But it is fast food.
Yeah.
It's going to be granted that it's going to jostle, it's going to move around. Where this was made at home, it was made fresh. The cheese is way more melty. This cheese over here, I don't know if the camera can see it, but the cheese kind of looks, honestly, after dealing with her dairy-free cheese, this McDonald's cheese looks like dairy-free cheese.
Just because it's not melted?
Just because it's not melted, yeah. So
plastic often doesn't melt.
Exactly. They just throw the whole slice of Kraft cheese on there. So I would say that winning-wise, homemade won 1 point there.
Yeah.
And presentation-wise.
I would agree.
Ease of getting it, obviously it was easy to go get it, but it still took time to go get that stuff.
And we planned ahead, so we had everything that we needed at home.
That is true.
So convenience-wise, when you think ahead just a little bit.
Yeah. So when you plan out your meals, you can go and get a pound of ground beef. And the best part about getting a pound of ground beef is you could use half a pound for 2 burgers, and even actually less than that. We used about just under half a pound for these two, because it's about 1.6. So we used about 6.6 ounces for this burger, about 6.4, because it is 1.6 ounces per burger.
Yeah.
Or 45 grams.
Per patty.
Per patty.
And there are 2 per burger.
Yeah, 2 per burger. So you're talking 6.4 ounces.
Yeah.
So that's less than half of a pound. So price-wise, we'll get around to that at the very end. Price-wise and something else we'll get around to the very end. But one, presentation, the homemade burgers won it. So let's check and see about the eating it, the taste of it all. All right, so you want to go first?
I've been really waiting for this. Dairy-free first?
Do the regular burger first.
I've never had one. Let me try and see.
She's never had a Big Mac before.
Never.
Did you get any meat in there at all?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Pretty good. Was there any sauce? Kind of looks dry.
It's not especially great. I don't think the sauce is as strong as I thought it was going to be.
Okay. She's going in for a second bite. So it can't be terrible.
To get more of the sauce.
Oh, yeah, they give more of the sauce. Yeah.
All right.
Like when you go to Cece's and you go get another piece of pizza just to make sure that the pizza was good.
I have tried a Big Mac now.
All right.
It's a lot of bread.
So now try the homemade one.
You don't want to try? I'm supposed to try everything?
You try yours too first, and I'll try mine.
I kind of don't know how to eat this because it's going to be messy.
You cleanse your palate, so that looks good. Good thing. This one
has a lot more sauce.
That one does have a lot more sauce. It is very juicy. It is just running out of there. So the sauce is really good. If you're not gluten-free, you don't know. Gluten-free bread is usually very dry. So how is it?
So much better.
So much better. I mean, it does have the cheese too. So does the cheese make a huge difference?
Not a huge difference.
Okay.
Just overall, I didn't think this Big Mac's meat had any taste.
Okay.
It just was like bread and meat. But the meat really didn't taste like anything. The bread was overpowering. This one is really good.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna try mine now. All right. I got it. Nice burger. Nice. You see it? See it? All right. Got like a mouthful of cheese.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a lot of cheese. I'm going to have to take a sip after that. It was a whole bunch of cheese. So now I'm going to take a second bite.
Oh, really?
The second bite was a whole lot more balanced, I would say. You can taste everything working together, the cheese, the Big Mac sauce. I love the Big Mac sauce. I used to go through and order with the Big Mac meal, like a large fry, and then I would ask for some sauce on the side so you can dip the fries in. That's good stuff. So now I want to try the homemade one. All right, now we're going to try the homemade.
It looks good.
It feels like this. All right, this is obviously after 2 bites, but feel that. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it feels very airy. It feels very light. And then there's this one. I mean, that really feels like you're holding a brick.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take a bite of it.
But the buns are pretty much the same size.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not that we got huge buns and that's what's making the difference.
Yeah.
Homemade?
I'll put the recipe in the description.
It's good.
But I didn't even
really
add
good.
extra pickles to it is the worst thing. Like,
you didn't?
I didn't add any extra pickles, but like the flavor was spot on. Like, that is Big Mac sauce.
Yeah. Yeah. Right? Just everything is so much better.
So yeah, I think it's safe to say, we can do a drum roll if you want.
No.
But
hands down.
Number 2, who are you going to give this point to?
A homemade, definitely
Homemade?
for taste.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we have 2 more categories to go. Obviously, the homemade has won the presentation, and it has won also the taste factor. Now, stay around for a few more minutes. We're going to go over the calories and the price point and see who wins that. And then at the end, we're going to announce a winner. All right, just stay around for the whiteboard. In the calories category, McDonald's was the winner. McDonald's buns had 73 calories. Homemade was 161. The patties at McDonald's and homemade were both 282. The cheese at McDonald's was 204. Cheese homemade 166. Sauce for both were 70 calories. Lettuce and pickles for both were 5. The total for McDonald's was 639 and homemade was 689. Making the winner McDonald's. For the price point category, McDonald's we bought 2 burgers for $11.50. In the homemade category, we paid $1.80 for meat, $1.20 for buns, $1 for sauce, 70 cents for lettuce, 75 cents for cheese. In total, we paid $5.45 for both of our homemade burgers. That is half the price of McDonald's. So McDonald's won in the calories category and homemade won in the price point category, making it 3 points homemade, 1 point McDonald's. We hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.